Let me tell you something that is not written anywhere, but I think it would help us understand a lot. Do you know the story of Adam and Chava? You know what happened there? Let me tell you the story. The Eibishter puts Adam and Chava in Gan Eden and says, you can eat from all the trees, but from this tree, don't eat. Why? Because b'yem acholcha mimenu, the day you eat from this tree, meis yamus, you will die. Within an hour, they ate from that tree.
So if somebody tells you don't look somewhere, obviously you're going to look there.
Okay. Now the Eibishter comes to Adam and says, did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from? And Adam says, she made me do it. So the Eibishter says, because you did that, you're going to make a living by the sweat of your brow. You're going to have a hard time making wheat grow. You're going to give birth with pain. You're going to be an enemy of the snake. He will kill you. You'll kill it. That's the story. Now I have a bunch of questions on this story. First of all, it's a horrible story. That's how you start the Torah? The Torah is going to give us 613 mitzvahs that we have to do, even though we have a Yetzer Hara. What's the first story in the Torah? That Adam and Chava don't have a Yetzer Hara. They were given one mitzvah and they couldn't keep it for an hour. Thank you very much. This is really encouraging.
They didn't have a Yetzer Hara. Why couldn't they keep it?
Exactly. That's my second question. My second question is, how is it possible for people who have no Yetzer Hara and they're living in Gan Eden and they have so many trees to eat from, within an hour they eat from the one tree that they shouldn't eat from? Come on. Even if you were in Gan Eden and the Eibishter told you not to eat from that tree, you would wait at least until after Shabbos. Second. Another way of asking the question is, if the Eibishter talks to somebody, it makes no impression?
They didn't know who he was, probably.
If the Eibishter spoke to you, it wouldn't make any impression. You'd say, yeah, well, maybe. I don't know, I'll think about it. When the Eibishter spoke to us at Har Sinai, we all died. The Eibishter speaks to Adam and he says, don't eat from that tree. And Adam says, I'll try. What is that? That can't be. It's not possible. Another thing. The Eibishter says, don't eat from that tree. And then he says, because if you do, that is really bad psychology. You don't say that to a child. You say to a child, don't ever touch that crystal whatever. You never say, if you do. What do you mean if you do? You don't. When you say if you do, you're saying it's possible that you will. Don't say that. You won't. You're not going to touch this. The Eibishter did something even worse. He didn't say if you eat from it. He said the day you eat from it. What day is that? Maybe today. That's really bad psychology. Next question. Even if there was a very big Yetzer Hara for that tree, where did Adam learn to blame somebody else? It was only a few hours old, and already he's blaming others? It's not my fault, she made me do it? Oh, come on. Finally, the question is, the Eibishter said if you eat from it, you'll die. Then when they ate from it, he said, not only are you going to die, but you're going to suffer your whole life. Whoa, that was not... So the whole story seems to be full of problems. And the main thing is, if you want to start teaching your child Torah, would you start with that story? Even if it happened, don't talk about it. It's not a nice story.
But if they do, that means he knew they were gonna.
Ah, okay. Now let's take a closer look at the whole story. Adam and Chava were tzaddikim, greater than any other tzaddikim in history except for Mashiach. Only Mashiach is going to be a greater neshama than Adam and Chava. So Adam and Chava remembered being in heaven when they were told that they have to go down into this world. They remembered being told that your shlichus is you have to go down to the lowest world, and there you have to make a dira b'tachtenim. So they went. Now they opened their eyes, and they are in Gan Eden, and it's their job to make a dira b'tachtenim. Now the Eibishter says to them, you can eat from all the trees, which means you can elevate the fruits of all the trees, but this tree, the Eitz Hadas, you can't. Don't eat from it because you're going to die. So Adam and Chava had a conversation. They said, what are we supposed to do about this Eitz Hadas? Since we are here to be mesakin, to elevate and be mevada the world, the only thing that needs fixing is this tree, and we're not supposed to eat from it? Chava said, the Eibishter is giving us a choice. He said, don't eat from it, or eat from it and die. What's your choice? So Adam said, well, then let's not eat from it. Chava said, no, we need to eat from it. He said, why? She said, because you don't understand what's going on. The Eibishter said that we should go down to the lowest world and make a dira b'tachtenim. We are not in the lowest world. And Adam said, how do you know that? She says, you don't listen. The Eibishter said, if you eat from it, you'll die. Nobody dies in Gan Eden. We are not in the lowest world. Adam said, we're low enough. If the Eibishter wanted us in the world in which people die, he would have put us there. Chava said, you don't understand anything. The Eibishter takes you till the door, but whether you're going to go in or not, he leaves up to you. Like the Eibishter took us to the border of Eretz Yisrael and then said, now you want to go or not? Send spies, see, check it out. And the Yidden decided they don't want to go. So the Eibishter always takes you up to the threshold, and then he leaves it for you. He wants you to decide. So Chava said, we have to eat from the tree. That's what the Eibishter wants, not my Yetzer Hara wants.
What if the snake had to do that?
The snake was representing the world outside of Gan Eden. Adam said, you know, I think you're right. No wonder the Eibishter gave me an Ezer, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't eat it. So they ate from it. Now the Eibishter came and said to Adam, you ate from the tree I told you not to eat from? How did you know that that's what I wanted you to do? So he said, how did I know? I didn't know. She knew. So the Eibishter said, that's very good. Now, here's the plan. When you go into the world outside of Gan Eden, there's pain there. There's hard work there. There's enemies. The snake will be your enemy. That's the lowest world. That's how it is. That's the world I need you to fix. Now, if you want to look at it from a very simple perspective, Adam and Chava really couldn't care less whether they died or lived. What were they, an hour old? So fine, it was fun. Now let's die. What's the difference? So really, what kind of threat was that? Oh, you're going to die. Oh, really? Easy come, easy go. We're not really attached to life yet. So fine, so we'll go back where we came from. Big deal. It wasn't a threat. What they were really discussing was, what's going to be with our children? What's going to be with them? They couldn't care less. What's going to be with our children? Adam said, I want my children to be tzaddikim. How do we make sure that they'll be tzaddikim? Don't eat from the tree. If you don't eat from the tree, you'll stay in Gan Eden, you'll never die, there won't be any Avedis. All our children will be tzaddikim. Chava said, I want my children to be Bali Tshuva. If we stay here, there's no tshuva. She eventually convinced Adam that a Baal Tshuva is higher than a tzaddik. So he ate from the tree. Which means like this. In the first story of Torah, the Torah is telling us, we are in this world because it's better to be a Baal Tshuva than to be a tzaddik. And who chose that for us? Our mother Chava. And she knew that it's going to be very painful. It's going to take a long time, like 5,771 years. But in the end, her children will do tshuva. And then the world will really be fixed. If there's only tzaddikim, the world doesn't really get fixed, because you never go into the lowest world. You stay in Gan Eden. I think that now that you read it, it'll seem pretty clear. Look at the difference. The Eibishter comes to Adam and says, you ate from the tree I told you not to eat from? It doesn't say that. It says, you ate from the tree I told you not to eat from? It's the same words, it just depends on... You assume immediately that the Eibishter is angry.
Where is this written?
Who tells you to assume that?
Maybe he really wants to elevate it and then we'll go to a lower level.
And then be Bala Tshuva.
So why Adam and Chava could do that, and if we say we're going to do the Aveda L'Shem Shamayim, it doesn't help. For a very simple reason. They didn't have a Yetzer Hara. When I say, I'm going to do the Aveda L'Shem Shamayim, oh sure, it's your Yetzer Hara. They didn't have a Yetzer Hara.